People are literally going into debt for this new game. And no, I'm not kidding. People are buying an entire Switch 2 just to play Pokémon Pokopia, which sounds ridiculous. Or does it? In this video I want to figure out why Pokopia suddenly exploded and whether it might become the first real system seller for the Switch 2. So first of all we want to figure out why are people buying a Switch 2 for Pokopia. So Pokemon nostalgia is insanely powerful and Pokemon fans are super loyal. People in this genre have played these games since their childhood. And so do I. I wasn't a massive fan, but I still remember having sleepovers at a friend's house and we would just play the new Pokemon Red and Blue all night. I don't remember a lot of it, but we had lots of fun. And I think that is the massive drive here, nostalgia. Pokemon isn't just a game for a lot of people. It's pretty much a feeling they've been chasing since they were kids. So sometimes one game sells the entire console. We've seen it happen with Animal Crossing New Horizons for the Switch 1. That game, together with the Zelda games, carried the sales for the Switch 1. And this is exactly the case happening with Pokopia. We didn't have super interesting games so far except for Mario Kart 8 and the Donkey Kong Bonanza game, but they weren't really that long, so it got boring quickly. And this game is different. It's pretty much never ending, as it relies on farming and just the coziness in all aspects. And that's exactly what Animal Crossing did for the Switch 1. To give another example, we've seen this with Bloodborne and the Spider-Man games for the PlayStation, and Forza back in the day with Xbox. The conclusion is, when a game hits the right audience at the right moment, it can literally sell the hardware itself. We also see the internet hype here. Reddit, TikTok, Twitter, it's been spreading everywhere. We see funny clips, we see some funny dialogue the game has to offer, and everyone is just talking about it. Cozy games, hardcore gamers, Pokemon fans, they're all jumping into the hype, and suddenly it feels like everyone is playing this one game at the same moment. But we gotta remember, Pokemon Pokopia itself isn't the actual full story here. Because the real reason this game exploded is something happening across the entire gaming industry. Players are exhausted by competitive games. Modern gaming problems are getting stressed for ranking, like in Call of Duty. You need to play and grind certain hours to get a certain rank, and it gets quite stressy after a while. We also have to deal with battle passes and pay to win options, and people are really leaving the live service grind for games you can pick up anytime you want and leave anytime you want. And in my opinion, this is just the way to go. I'm not saying these super competitive games should just be gone, because there's obviously an audience for that, and it can still be fun to just hop on and grind some camos in Call of Duty. But the moral of the story is just that cozy games offer way more relaxing gameplay without having the pressure. The Animal Crossing effect also has a lot of influence on this game. Millions of people discovered cozy gaming when the pandemic hit, and it was the first time gaming felt relaxing instead of stressful. I was also one of them. COVID hit, I was home all day, had nothing to do, and then this random cozy game came out and I was hooked. 12 hours a day, and yeah, that's way too much, and it wasn't good for my mental health or my brain, but man, I enjoyed this game so much. We also gotta know that Pokemon is entering the cozy space for the first time. Traditionally, Pokemon was all about battles, grinding, collecting the best Pokemons out there, and Pokopia adds this cozy tint of exploring the whole world and Pokemons, building their homes, building whatever you like to, having farming style mechanics, and overall, just a relaxed pacing. It attracts a completely new audience for Pokemon, but now we get to the real question. Is Pokemon Pokopia actually worth the hype that it has right now? To be honest, I had no expectations going into this game. I like cozy games, but I also like first-person shooters, open worlds, and just any genre in general, to be honest. But when I launched this game for the first time, I was hooked. I've played for 3 hours straight and didn't even notice that I was playing for this long. Pokopia really does a great job of just giving you quests and keeping you busy, while not being too much, if that's the right thing to say. The gameplay loop is also a lot of fun. Exploration is straightforward, collecting items doesn't feel grindy like other cozy games like Animal Crossing or Dreamlight Valley, and progression is quite fast if you're doing what you have to do and focus on the main objectives. But the real answer to if it is worth to buy a Switch 2 just for this game is that for a lot of people it will be. And yes, I do really love Pokemon Pokopia so far, and I will be putting a lot more hours into this game, but I already had a Switch 2, and I don't know if this game in particular would be the system seller for me. But I do understand why it can be for some people, so I'd say if you haven't already bought a Switch 2 and you're not putting yourself in any debt to just play the game, then yes, buy a Switch 2 and enjoy Pokemon Pokopia. But don't forget that Mario Kart 8 and Donkey Kong Bonanza is also a really fun experience. So the conclusion, people think consoles sell because of better graphics or stronger hardware, and while that might be one of the reasons, a console sells because of one game that feels worth it. And for some people, or better said, a lot of people right now, that game might just be Pokemon Pokopia. So the question is, are you or will you be playing Pokemon Pokopia? Leave it down in the comments, and if you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe. It will mean a lot, and I'll see you in the next video.